She lost her way, although she stays, she's never yours. She doesn't breathe, she doesn't leave when she's with you. She scratches red and cuts too deep, there's nothing left to do. The world inside she sees it's all in black, trapped in time apart. The world inside she sees it's always gray, trapped in time apart. The world inside where light never comes in, trapped in time apart. Distant again, trying to get closer to you. You always go back to the place of black and blue.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Come on in, take a seat. This is the Cassidy The Cardslinger show here on My Psychic Connection, and I'm so excited to be here with everybody. Come on in, take a seat, grab something nice to drink, and let's see those questions. So welcome, in case this is your first time joining one of our shows. I will be the host this evening, Cassidy The Cardslinger, and I will be providing readings for you this evening. I've got lots of decks. I've got lots of decks across my table today, and I'm ready to answer your questions. So if you're interested in getting a reading tonight, depending on where you're listening to me, because folks, we are on over 190 different platforms. That's right, 190 platforms, and there's a couple of different places that we're taking questions. I will go ahead and shuffle you over to the YouTube channel because that one is always popping and snappy, and it seems to work very well. So if you head on over to YouTube, type in My Psychic Connection, you'll see our logo here with the blue tree, and you can find the live stream, and go ahead and type in those specific questions. So what do I mean by a specific question? Something that has a bit of context, something with a little bit of meat to it. I want to know what it is that you want to know so I can get to the heart of your question and get you the answers that you're looking for as soon as possible. So in order to get on the list, we will need those specific questions to be put into the chat, and then I will be getting through as many as I can this evening. If you're interested in getting a donated reading, what that does is it gives you a longer reading. If you want some more information, or you have follow-up questions, or you want a bit more time as opposed to the free 2-minute readings, that link will be floating around in the comments here as well. So keep that option in mind, and our donations do skip the line for all of the free readings, and the mega reading jumps the line for all of the donated readings. So what else do I want to say? There's a few things I don't touch. There are a few things I will not be slinging cards for this evening, and they include legal readings. No, how will this court case go? By law, I cannot touch legal questions. By law, I can also not touch medical questions. So anything related to a physical, medical condition, and this includes predictions surrounding pregnancy or passing away. So I say this every week. I do not like to dabble with the transition points of life. I will not predict pregnancy, and I will not predict death. The other thing I cannot do for you this evening is mediumship. So if you are interested in connecting with your loved ones on the other side, definitely check out the other shows. We've got shows every night from Monday to Thursday, multiple times a day, and we do have some incredible psychic mediums that can help you with those questions as well. So what else do I want to talk about tonight, guys? How's everybody doing? How are we all hanging in there with this Scorpio season? It's been a bit emotionally, energetically interesting for a lot of us. What I've been describing it as for myself is it feels like there's a number of balls in the air, but nothing is really grounding. Things just seem either, it's not quite spacey, but it's definitely pulling, I don't know, different aspects of our emotions forward. I find I'm thinking a bit differently. I hope everybody is hanging in there because it's quite an interesting time to be alive. Astrologically, there's always something great going on. And the other thing I wanted to say is, yeah, I'm happy to be here with everyone tonight, and I'm looking forward to going ahead and reading everybody's questions. We do have an emoji contest going tonight, guys, so go ahead and send those emojis in the chat. Whoever sends the most emojis throughout the duration of the show until we announce the winner will win a very special reading with one of my oracle decks, and that's the only time that I will do a general read. So if you're interested in that option, let's see those positive emojis. Let's see hearts and the little octopus and trees and anything. I will take all of the beautiful emojis. I like them all. So without any further ado, thank you all for being here. I'm going to go ahead and get these cards nice and shuffled, and I'll take my first question, please. Here we have Mahesh. Hi, Mahesh. Hope you're doing well. Mahesh says, I think Nilofer is with someone. Should I send her a letter or look for someone else? All right, my dear, let's take a look. Should you send a letter to Nilofer, or should you look in another direction for someone else? Let's take a look at the letter option. There we go. And should you look for someone else? Okay, interesting. Could you do both? Are both a possibility? When you said you're seeing that she's either involved with someone else, the first card I have down here is flowering in reverse. So it does feel to me as though her heart and her mind is turned in another direction at this time, and you may be feeling an additional sense of separation or coldness between the two of you. The other card I have here, though, on that side of the fence is courage, and it's showing a flower, despite all odds, growing in what looks like a difficult concrete situation. So I do think a letter is still worth your time, because just because she's maybe seeing someone else doesn't mean that there's not still an opportunity for you at this time. When you asked too about looking for someone else, the first card I have is letting go, and I have playfulness in reverse. So this is why I'm saying I don't know if both options can be a thing, but I would say to you, keep as many doors open as possible. You can continue to pursue this connection, and she'll let you know whether or not she's interested. You'll have your answer, but I still feel like there's perhaps a little more potential we could see there, as well as with this playfulness in reverse. I think there's someone else that you could find at this time as well. So that is what I am seeing for you there, my dear. And thank you so much for your question. I hope that was helpful for you. So guys, I'm excited. I'm just so excited for Thursday nights. I look forward to my show all week. And I found a quote earlier this week that I quite enjoyed, and I'm going to sprinkle that in here. And it says, both faith and fear involve believing in something I can't see, and I get to choose. Isn't that nice? So for any of you who are experiencing either fear or worry right now, there's sort of, I guess, two sides of a single coin, where there is faith and hope for something better to happen. And on the other side, there is fear and worry about something that may or may not come forward. So keep that in mind. They kind of, I would say, come across on a very similar vein. So choose which you choose to believe in. Mahesh says, thank you so much. You are so very welcome, my dear, and thank you for being here and for your lovely question. All right, I'm going to give these cards a nice good shuffle here, and I'll take my next question, please. We have Haley. Hello, Haley. Haley says, hi, how do you see John feels about me now, since he unfollowed me on Instagram due to some post I posted that may have triggered him? Do you think I ruined my chance in being with him romantically? Thanks. Okay, so do we see how John is feeling about you now that he has unfollowed you on Instagram? Let's take a look at his thoughts and feelings towards you at this time since he has unfollowed you. That is the card there. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. So what I will definitely say is that it really did change the way that he feels about you, unfortunately. I have the central card down I have here is sorrow. So when you're saying that the post, you were concerned that it triggered him in some fashion, I really feel like that is in fact the case. There was a hope or a way that he saw you that really changed when he saw that particular post, and it reopened some degree of a wound for him, which is why he unfollowed you and is guarding his heart. Second card I have down here, it's awareness, and it's come up in reverse, and it can almost, it looks like with this card, I would say unfollowing, but either a coldness that is now resulting from unfollowing, or little to no communication and just backing away from this connection entirely. The last card I have down here is possibilities, and it is this bird flying over this large desert. So I feel like, I mean, we're going to go through a difficult period between the two of you right now because he has pulled back so much. But with that card being of possibilities, I would not say it's not off the table for something to happen for the two of you in the future. So that is what I am seeing for you there, my dear. And I do hope that that was helpful. It's tricky in situations because when we cause, intentionally or not, harm or difficulty in someone else, not difficulty, I guess, but when we evoke some degree of a negative emotion in somebody else, what we then are often faced with is a period of how do we even go about mitigating that or working with their feelings, because we cannot make anybody heal any faster than they are wanting to, or sometimes things happen that we really can't fix immediately. So definitely, if anyone out there is experiencing some degree of separation or coldness from someone else, just keep that in mind. You know, respect what boundaries people have put in place. If they are taking a step back, oftentimes that's what they need. But again, I'll always say, you know, there's these pieces of, I almost call them either canned wisdom or advice that we hear all the time. And a lot of times we can live by sort of these rules of thumb, but also there are times when they really don't fit for our situation. Sometimes you need to fight for that connection. Sometimes you need to reach out and mitigate as soon as possible. So there is never a one size fits all in terms of healing something that has gone on in a connection. So that is why I recommend getting yourself a reading. So if you're interested in anything like that, I will say one more time, go ahead and post your specific questions here in the chat, and I will get to as many as I can this evening. Okay, guys, I'll be ready for my next question, please. We have JMC. Hello, JMC. JMC says, hi there, my husband left me for another woman 2 months ago. I was just wondering if you can see us getting back together, please. My name is Julie. Thank you kindly. Oh, Julie, I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm definitely happy to take a look at what's going on between the two of you, and if we see any possibility of reconnection. Let's see what's going on here. Here we go. Okay. So my heart goes out to you, my dear. It feels as though this has been almost completely blindsiding experience for you. The first card I have down here, again, not medically speaking of the term, but it's called schizophrenia, and it's come up in reverse. So it feels as though, in fact, him doing this and leaving in the manner that he did, it felt very unexpected, very out of character, and really left you in a position of trying to bridge the gap for yourself and coming to terms with the reality of this, what happened in your relationship, as well as questioning really who he ever was. It just feels very emotionally stretching time understanding the new reality that you're facing. My darling, I'm so sorry for you. The second card I have here is New Vision and come in reverse. So to me, I'm not seeing, at least in the short-term future, a reconnection between the two of you. It looks as though the path that has been taken, which for better or worse is what it is. It feels like attention has been diverted away from the two of you at this time. And the last card I have here is Compromise, that's come up in reverse. And it feels like we're just, two people are quite far away with what they want at this particular time. So at least in the short term, I'm not seeing a reconnection or some degree of an apology between the two of you. So that is what I get initially there on your situation, my dear. But thank you very much for your trust with that question. And I'm so sorry that happened. It is quite something when someone we thought we knew reveals who they truly are, shall we say? And it takes, well, I mean, for me anyways, but a lot of people find that it will go through certain phases of it. First, it is shocking, heartbreaking, and very devastating to see someone's true side when they are really not who they were or who you thought they were for however many years you were in this person's company. And then at some point, and perhaps it's part of the healing process, is a liberation to know, who am I dealing with here? Is this is who this person has been the whole time? It like I said, it can be very liberating to find the truth of someone after a period of time. So if that is helpful for anyone out there. But guys, the emoji contest is still in full force. So let's see those emojis. Whoever sends the most emojis throughout the duration of the show will win a free reading a little bit later on in the evening. So also, guys, do make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, because we have got content that comes out every single day, every single week, every single month. There is new content that literally comes out every single day, from different card reading situations. We've got tea leaves, we've got angel numbers of the day. So make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, and you will not miss out on any of the beautiful content that's floating around over there. Okay, guys, I'll be ready for my next question, please. We have Audrey. Hello, Audrey. Audrey says, hey, Cassidy, did I make any headway with my text to Sabine today for her to follow my instructions for her severe situation and need help? Thanks. I'll read that one more time. It says, hi, Cassidy, did I make any headway with my text to Sabine today for her to follow my instructions for her severe situation and need for help? All right, my dear, let's take a look if you made any headway with what you sent to Sabine. I know that's a very difficult situation, so I'm sorry that that's still what's going on. Okay. Oh, this is complex and complicated for you, my dear. And okay, I've got a few cards here. I have comparison in reverse, I have maturity, the miser, and I have the card of the rebel. So where you're saying, did you make any headway? It's going to initially feel like yes, because I said that first card I have down is maturity, where there would appear to be someone who is taking on advice that is good for them at this time, that is going to take the steps that they need, because it does feel like there is a level of support that is very needed for this particular individual at this time. So where it looks like they're about to take a step in the right direction, the two cards that follow it, I've got the miser and the rebel, and both of them are quite stingy. Well, the miser is stingy, but the rebel is unfortunately still looking to go on a path that is not the right one for them. You can see he's kind of just kicking with the chains on the bottom, and he's got this phoenix wrapped around his head, and it's almost like she would have heard you, what you initially said, and then shortly thereafter just falls back into a pattern that they can't escape, seemingly on their own right now. I don't know if there's some level of addiction or something surrounding that for this person, but it feels that they are falling back into a pattern that they know to be, I will say that they know that they're comfortable with, despite the fact that it is not good for them, and their better judgment actually understands that in some regard. So that is what I'm seeing for you there, my dear. It does look like some short-term headway was made, but I'm not seeing a drastic shift that I would have really liked to see for you in this particular situation. So thank you very much for your trust with that question. And I really wish you good luck navigating that connection. So guys, and JMC says, thank you so much. You are very welcome, and thank you for your question. And guys, make sure if you got a reading either tonight or at any point this week to please leave us a review. So you can head on over to www.journeyryanlive.com/reviews, and you can leave a review for the reader of your choice, whoever you got a reading with. We love the love. We love to see what people have to say. So it really helps us out, and it really supports the channel to get reviews from everyone. And another way you can support the channel is by, subscribing, liking, and sharing out this video. So I am going to be live here for another good chunk of time here for the rest of the hour. So share me out far and wide. I'd love to reach as many people as possible, and especially to people that you find in your life perhaps need a reading, someone that you think could really benefit from a little bit of insight from the cards here tonight. So we love meeting new people and helping as many folks as we can. Okay, this has been so much fun enjoying this time here tonight. I'm ready for my next question, please. We have Gemma. Hello, Gemma. Gemma says, I've had a lot of stress and uncertainty, which has left my mind unsettled and quite anxious. I'm very sorry to hear that. How can I switch off from it all and get a more positive headspace again? Normally I can, but struggling to now. Okay, I'll read that, just the question part again. Thank you very much. It says, how can I switch off from it all and get in a more positive headspace again? All right, my dear, let's take a look at what I can get from the cards. And one of the first things I'll say is that you may find that rational modes to experiencing emotional distressing experiences, they can be a bit tricky. So let's see what I've got here. Okay. All right. So there's a lot going on here, my dear. The very first card I can see, it's a card of understanding, and it has come up in reverse. And you can see there's a bird that is seemingly trapped behind a cage, and he's looking at other birds that are flying free. It goes well here with my second card of comparison and my third card of harmony in reverse. So what I will say is I do actually see a progression to this stressful and anxious time for you lessening over a period of time. But what I feel that you can do a couple of things. One of them with that comparison card is to not, I would say, compare what you are experiencing to some alternative reality that you think you should be experiencing at this time, or beating yourself up for where you're at in your life, what limitations that you're facing, or looking at other people out there, people doing other things, and just feeling, I feel like there's either a FOMO, a fear of missing out, or a comparative narrative. Ooh, that was a weird way of saying that, but a comparison narrative that you have in your head that is really contributing to the anxious nature, where if you can stop doing that at all possible, one of the things would be to try and really catch those. That was the absolute fastest 2 minutes I think I have ever read for, but that is what I have got for you there in the time I have, my dear. And I do wish you good luck, and I wish you well in navigating that situation. And I hope, anybody out there who's experiencing nervous or stressful times, there's not, again, it's one of those things, there's not really a one size fits all way for us to navigate our particular stress. But Gemma says, yes, I completely understand that. Thank you. You are so very welcome, my dear. And thank you so much for your comment. Yeah. And you may find, like, for some of us, stress management can look like fitting things into our schedule on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. It can be more of if it's a systemic stress that we're experiencing, trying to see where we can lessen the stress in our lives where possible. But it's, again, not a one size fits all. And I hope, I'll just perhaps a cup of tea. Cup of tea can be helpful. Music can be helpful. Speaking with friends, reading books, whatever it is that can not distract you or take you away, but either ground you or settle you into yourself. You may find that tricks like that can be quite helpful as well. So anyways, guys, we are just absolutely cruising here this evening. I will go ahead. I think it's time to switch decks. We have gotten a number of readings out of that deck here. Let's go ahead and get this one fired up, and I'll be ready for my next question, please. We have Allison. Hello, Allison. And Allison says, I just got a new job. It's only part-time. Just wondering if it will turn into a full-time and if I will end up staying there for a while. All right, my dear, let's take a look at this situation for the new job. Congratulations. That is exciting to have a new job. So first question, taking a look at, do we see this turning into a full-time position from the part-time role that you have currently? Okay, and then, yeah, so, well, I don't feel like it's a limitation of the job that I'm seeing not turning into a full-time. I just don't know if you're going to want to. The first card down I've got the 10 of Swords in reverse, as well as the Hierophant card in reverse. And to me, it's almost like it doesn't seem that the opportunity may not arise, but what I'm seeing more in the cards is the fit is just really not good for you in the long term, or at least you'll come to experience that there's, I would say, a better opportunity out there apart from this position that you currently have. It seems as though they will either be exhausting or a bit unsustainable to move into a full-time role. And you may even find in your part-time position, there's a level of expectation to do as much work as though you were in full-time. So the idea of going full-time could feel just a little bit too much. So again, it doesn't seem like it's a limitation of the position. In fact, it does look like there will be an offer at some point for you to transition into more hours at this location, but you may find that you're not interested in taking that particular option. Keep, like I said this earlier tonight, but do keep the doors open to other opportunities that may come your way, because I think that would be a good avenue to explore as well, my dear. So that is what I have for you, and thank you so very much for your question. This is a great little deck. This is the Northern Animal Tarot here this evening, and the one I was working with before is the Osho Zen Tarot. So I do love my tools. I do love my cards. I have got a wild collection here, and they all get a little bit of love. So, and if you guys are still joining us, we can see we've got some new faces coming in. Do go ahead and ask your specific question. If you're interested in a reading tonight, that means give me a little bit of context. Let me know what it is we're talking about. If you're asking about a person, who is this person to you? A little bit of context and a bit more understanding for me just really helps get me right to what you want to know, and we'll get an answer to whatever is weighing on your heart tonight. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give these cards a nice good shuffle here. There we are, and I'll take my next question, please. This is for No Caller ID, and No Caller ID says, do you see my twin flame contacting me? All right, my dear, we'll definitely take a look at that. And with the disclaimer, I can't see the words twin flame without saying this particular disclaimer is that I don't know if you're asking about a particular individual or if you are asking about a twin flame coming forward, but there is a lot of folks, I will say, think differently about what that term means. And I just really hope that whoever is using that term is not using it in a way to sugarcoat a connection that is toxic and bad for you, because I have seen that out there. So to answer your question, though, do I see this twin flame contacting you? I actually do, which is interesting. I have the Ace of Cups card here and the Four of Wands, as well as the Queen of Pentacles, and all of these cards have come up in the upright position. So I don't know if there is someone that you currently have in mind, but it does look like a connection being formed between two individuals. And I do hope that what I am understanding of your understanding of twin flame is that this is just someone that is a deep soul connection with you, and not someone who is here to make your life more challenging than it is. So I'll come back to that in a minute. But to be honest, when you asked, do I see them reaching out and there being a connection? I actually do. I do see this being something that comes forward for you. And I don't know if you've met them already, but there really is a familiarity of their character that you have with them. And No Caller ID says yes with heart eyes. So that is what I have for you for your question there, my dear. Thank you very much for that question and for your trust with that question. Let me just do a quick moment here on twin flames, because I hope I made my point as I was getting into that reading there. But just in case I did not, you do see it floating around in the spiritual community that people will use the term twin flame to, in some regard, what's the right word? Condone a connection that is very toxic and very unhealthy. No Caller ID says, thank you so much, with a bunch of hearts. You are very welcome, my dear. That was a very clear yes, so enjoy. But to talk about the twin flame thing, I can't ever see that without talking about this, because it does seem as though people understanding that concept in a way that feels, to me, really quite corrupt, to not accept in many cases an abusive connection because it is presumed to be your twin flame. So I see that term as more of a deep soul connection with someone when we operate with that term, because I, of course, would never condone sticking around in a relationship that is both toxic and or abusive for anyone involved. So just keeping that disclaimer out there, just in case, anytime I use that word, I like to give it a definition. And Alice says, thank you. You confirmed what I was already thinking / feeling about the job. Cool. Excellent. Thank you so much for that confirmation, my dear. That was an interesting one. It just, and I've had actually similar situations in the past where it's like, if a work connection is going to push too many boundaries, and it's like, we don't ever want our excitement for something new to cloud our ability to see what is actually in front of us and where something is heading. So you can see this in new jobs, new relationships, new connections of all sorts. But I will always say, keep your eyes open and allow yourself to feel that excitement, because who doesn't love something new and exciting in their life? But keep watch of these early signs, any of these red flags that may pop in. Eyes open as you're walking into a new unknown territory, always, folks. Haley says, thank you for my reading earlier, with an exclamation mark and a smiley face. You are very welcome, my dear. Thank you so much for that feedback. And if you did, I said it before, but I'll say it one more time. If you did get a reading either tonight or at some point in the rest of the week, there is the link floating around in the chat. Please go ahead and leave a review for us, because it does really help the show. All right, guys, what have I got next? I will take my... Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So as you just saw there, we are heading into the lightning round. So if you know how this works, get your questions ready. And if you don't, no worries. Here's how this is going to work. For a couple of minutes here, and there will be a timer set, I'm going to answer as many yes or no questions as possible. How many questions can you ask? As many as you can type. It doesn't matter if I just read for you, question after question for the entire time. But what the question needs to be is a yes or no format. So I will not, unfortunately, be able to give any additional information or insight into my answer on these questions, but any questions that you may have in the format of yes or no, go ahead and type those in. As soon as we see them start to roll into the chat, we will get going on this very soon. But you also may want to, I'll say within yourself, have a clear understanding of what it is that you're asking so that I can answer as directly as possible. If you ask those specific yes-no questions, you will find you will get specific yes-no answers. So do yourself a favor, and if there's anything vague in your question, I unfortunately cannot address it. So I can either say yes, no, or undetermined. And there's a couple that fit in there. There's sometimes a undetermined and an undetermined, but I will try my very best to keep to those three. And that is how this game rolls. So I'm going to go ahead and select the deck that I would like to use for this, and we will go ahead and get started. Let's see my first yes or no question of the night. And it is the lovely Squirrel. Hi, Squirrel. Squirrel says, will my husband find a job that meets his requirements quickly once we move? Yes. Oh, that cute. No caller ID says, do you see me and my twin flame together? Yes. Cindy says, is my friend Jay avoiding me? No. Allison, will I hear from my son by the end of this year? Yes. Allison says, will I hear from my daughter by the end of this year? Undetermined. Silly Billy says, my name is Niloy. Will Jacinta, my crush, truly appreciate my birthday gift to her? My gift is my artwork portrait of her family. Yes. Mahesh says, do you see me traveling this month? And we have yes. Allison says, will I get another vehicle by the end of the year? Undetermined. Jenna says, does Dominique fancy Adam? Yes. Silly Billy says, will I get the offer letter from the Navy to join as a mechanical engineer, submariner? Undetermined. Gemma says, will I meet Adam's friends? No. More to that. No caller ID says, does my twin flame still love me? Undetermined. Silly Billy says, will Jacinta attend my defense enlistment ceremony? Yes. Pamela says, will my scan in December be clear? I'm not sure if that's a medical question. I will pass on that. Squirrel says, will my mom love Drusilla, my cat? Ooh, undetermined. There's more to that. Gemma says, will my daughter go on maternity leave in February? Yes. Cindy says, will I hear from my friend Jay? Undetermined. Allison says, will my roommate move out next year? Yes. Gemma says, should I end my friendship with Vicky? Undetermined. Allison says, will I hear from my daughter before her baby is born? Yes. No caller ID says, will I meet my soulmate? Yes. Gemma says, will I go on holiday next year? Undetermined. was very tricky. That was very tricky. And typically when I have done this game in the past, it's been on the Friday show, and we have, at least 3 readers, and we're going around in circles. So you have a couple of moments in between to recover from the yes or no's, and to, I will say, tie your tongue in a knot before having to answer an additional question, because there was a whole lot more of those questions. And if you received an undetermined, they were interesting. They were interesting, and I that game is a blast, so much fun and very tricky. So thank you everybody for your beautiful questions and for sharing all of your questions with me. That was a whole lot of fun. Thank you for that. That is an absolute wild ride. So I will go ahead and turn back on the emoji contest. So whoever I'm sorry, just had a small blip there, but I think we're all right. If you send the most emojis here this evening, you will win a free reading a little later on in the night. So go ahead and send as many emojis as you like. Awesome, guys. That is so much fun. And Allison says, thank you. You are very welcome, my dear. That is a blast, and getting lots of love and lots of emojis here. So let's see if those emojis fill the screen here tonight. And like I said, as many as you want to send, you will be the winner, whoever sends the most. So, all right, guys. Whoops. Let's grab my cards here, and I'll take my next question, please. This is for Silly Billy, and Silly Billy says, my name is Niloy. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. My question is, how will Jacinta, I believe, my crush, react when I give her the birthday gift to her? The gift is an artwork portrait of her family. All right, my dear, let's take a look for you how your crush will react to the artwork. Wow, is it fair to say that this is like really quite unexpected of a gift? I don't know if they're not expecting a gift from you at all, or this is something like they either don't know this particular talent of yours, or what it is that you're bringing forward. It feels as though there is an element of surprise, not just in that they don't know what the gift is, but that there is a gift coming from you and the quality of the work. So I do feel that they're genuinely going to like it, but at first there is I've got the King of Wands, the Hermit reversed, the Seven of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. So what I want to say is, at the end of the road, this is really going to be something that they cherish, and that they realize how much work has gone into it. It does seem that they will certainly value the gift, and it probably ends up making it up on a wall of some sort in a display of their home. But the Hermit in reverse, I don't know if there is someone, is there someone deceased that is put in this painting, or is there is something about it that's, I will say, going to take them aback or take them by surprise when they initially open it, that you may not get the excitement or the level of recognition that you're looking for, because they're taken aback by some element of the painting, so that they kind of almost, they just go in first before they can share their excitement. So that is what I am seeing for you there, my dear, and thank you for your question. Do let me know how that goes. That's really quite exciting. I love both creative people, but creative gift giving is such a wonderful thing to see. If you ever make a gift for someone or create something, I've had some really incredible either homemade gifts or things given to me in the past, and it's like there's something extra special about those. And on that note, just because this is hilarious and I'm curious about from the audience's perspective, we are in November 9th, and there's 2 types of people in this time of the year. There are people who are decorating their house like these, and there are people who are decorating their house like this. And if you are listening to me where you are audio only, you will find I have a little Santa figurine in one hand, and I have a little glass pumpkin in the other hand. And I have a bit of an ongoing joke in my house about putting the first Christmas ornament out at a ridiculously early time. But it's a very interesting period here, because especially in the United States, you have You've got another holiday coming up before Christmas, which of course is Thanksgiving. So anyways, it's in the spirit of giving gifts, giving thanks, giving to those around us. I just think, yeah, it's quite exciting. So what a great question. Thank you very much for that. That was a lot of fun. All right, going to shuffle my cards here, and I'll take my next question, please. This is for Cindy. Hello, Cindy. Cindy says, good evening. Just want to know why my friend Jay is avoiding me, and are they letting me go? All right, my dear, let's take a look at what's going on with your friend Jay and what I guess the presumed distance is between you right now. What is going on with Jay in regards to the relationship with you at this time? That is the card right there. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. Cindy says yes. So it's quite interesting. It feels like there was a rather sudden drop in communication between the two of you. The first card I have down here is the Sun, but in this particular Sun, you know, this is usually a card that has two people coming together, and in this card you can see two people that are really almost on different wavelengths. They are looking apart from each other, and despite the fact that the Sun card is typically a rather warm, positive, energetic, Cindy says yes, bubbly type card, we have two people that are not communicating and are not connected to one another. The next card I have down here is the Hierophant in reverse. So to the, like, I don't know if there was a falling out or anything in between the two of you, because it feels rather, the distance feels rather unexplained or undiscussed as to what happened and where you're at right now. I also have the card here of the Ten of Wands reverse and the Two of Pentacles. So part of this is not really saying so much that it is you, but that what's going on for them is they're just sort of pulling away from a number of people right now due to obligations, things that are pulling them in other directions. There's sort of two ways to go about that. There's, you know, they are avoiding you and there's something wrong with how they feel about you, or they are just really swept up in another world. So to me, it I say this lovingly, but it would be, that 2 minutes just gets faster every time. That is what I've seen for you there, my dear, from the cards that I have. But thank you very much for your question, and I do hope that was helpful. So I mean, it's relationships, whether they are love, friends, bosses, coworkers, are quite tricky beasts, aren't they? They can be a bit of a ride for sure. So do go ahead, guys. I'll say one more time, if you've gotten a reading here tonight or at any point this week, please leave us a review at www.journeyryanlive.com/reviews. It really helps support the show. All right, guys, this hour is just cruising by. I am having so much fun. Thank you all for being here. Let's go ahead and switch up decks. I'm going to go ahead with this. No, this one. Let's go ahead with this guy. I'll take my next question, please. Squirrel. Hello, Squirrel. Squirrel says, what can I do to make the 20-hour car trip next weekend less stressful for my sweet baby cat, Drusilla? And yay, my family will finally be together. I'm so excited for you, my dear. That is wonderful. So particularly, you've asked about your sweet Drusilla, and what can you do? That is a long car ride. My heart goes out to you and little one. Yeah, that's a big one. So let's take a look what you can do to help and support little kitty. Oh. Okay. I mean, is it fair to say that she's perhaps a little bit of a homebody, or, you know, we don't really move our cats around so much. But the first card I have down here is the King of Wands in reverse, and it feels like, you know, she's kind of expecting that something weird's going on as you guys are packing, and there's a strange, different energy. So I feel like initially there's going to be some nerves that are going on her end to you know, help try and calm. The next two cards I have down here are quite sweet. She says she is a butt baby. So cute. We have well, I've got the 9 of coins, who is a skunk in this deck, so butt baby. I got the 9 of coins, and I have the Empress, and she says, oh, I've been away from her for 7 months now. Well, for starters, she's going to be incredibly happy to have her mama bear back, because the two of you have a bond that just immediately calms her more than I would say perhaps anyone else. But for you, what you can help to do to make the trip less stressful, I mean, with your love and kindness that you have for her, whatever you can do to comfort her space. She says, oh my God, yes, big bond. Yeah, I mean, it's so sweet. I'm talking, you know, a pillow, a blanket, a little bit of room to move around, not too much so she's, you know, bopping around type of thing, but we want her to be cozy and well, you know, comfortable, really as comfortable as possible. And the other thing I'll say too is, I don't know, keep the music down, whatever sorts of sounds that you have. Oh, my dear, yeah. So keep the sounds down is what I was just saying there. So it feels like, you know, and kitties in general can be a bit stressed out by extra loud noises. She says, thank you so much, Cassidy. You are so very welcome, my dear. And thank you for that question. I have such a soft spot in my heart for our little fur babies. So, and I sometimes have to move them up to different locations as well, my little ones. So it can be tricky moving them about. We have got an emoji contest winner. This is for Mahesh. Congratulations. Yay, congratulations. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support and all of your beautiful emojis here tonight. But Mahesh, you are the winner. Mahesh is sending some, what are those called? Fireworks type emojis. So congratulations for you, my dear. If you have a question that you would like this oracle reading to be reflected of, I will go ahead and take it at this time. But this is also, as I said before, the only time I will perform a general type reading on this particular show. So I do not necessarily have to have a particular question or context. And Mahesh says, thank you so much. You are so welcome. Thank you for all of the beautiful emojis this evening. Right, give these cards a nice good shuffle here, so let me know. But let's take a look at what the cards. I have actually a new oracle deck here this evening, Mahesh, so you're going to be the first person I've ever used it for. And Mahesh says something related to my future wife. Okay, let's take a look at what I can see for you here. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is very cool. Like I said, I've never really read with this particular deck before. So, wow. Okay, so the very first card I have down is card number 3, and it says celebrate differences. And we have what is a beautiful, what is this? A unicorn and a dolphin and 2 people on the back. So celebrate differences is the first thing to consider. So you may find that this next partner or your future wife that you've asked about specifically either doesn't fit into a complete mold of exactly what you are expecting to be for your long-term partner, but as opposed to like finding someone who's very complementary to you but very beautiful in their own way, might think a bit differently, you know, maybe comes from a different place. There is some degree of difference or diversity between the two of you that should go ahead and be celebrated, as opposed to, I would say, shrinking the box for what this woman needs to look like or how she needs to appear for you. There is, look for someone complementing to you, as opposed to I don't know, you want puzzle pieces that fit but add to each other, don't make a picture. That's a very bad analogy, but that is the first card I have. The second card I have is make a decision, which is again a very, very beautiful card. It looks just like this. So with celebrating differences and make a decision, it does feel that you have a bit more power in this particular role than you may think that you do. And when this card about making a decision comes forward, it's about really what do you want and going after it with, I would say, almost no plan B where possible, and, you know, with meeting where everyone else is at. But make a decision. It would say, you know, when you're ready to find that next person, make a decision. Don't be so perhaps wishy-washy, even though earlier in the show I had said to keep your options open, but do make that decision for what it is that you want, who you would be interested in entertaining in this capacity, and who just, I would say, you know, right away would not work. And the third card here, which is just absolutely gorgeous, is Seek Beauty. And isn't she gorgeous? So I mean, speaking of this, I'm not going to sit here and just say, looks are everything in a connection. But in terms of seek beauty, it does seem to appear very much so here that this woman that comes forward is someone you find, I would say, just beautiful, incredibly attractive, and not so much, I mean, as well as in a physical sense, but where it says seek beauty, like it is with celebrate differences here, the capacity of her heart, how she handles herself, what's important to her, finding someone who, again, is very complimentary and has such a beautiful spirit and soul about her, that would be, I would say, a good, I mean, who doesn't want to find someone that they're attracted to? But I mean, that's the last card in the string that I have here in response to your particular question. So celebrate differences, make a decision, and seek beauty. So, find what you're looking for and go for that with everything that you've got, my dear. So that is what I have for you tonight, my darling. Thank you so much for your question, and congratulations again for being the winner of the emoji contest. And I'm glad I got to use this new deck, and it seems to have been really quite clear for that question. So I'm excited to bring that one forward for weeks to come. Awesome, guys. This night is just absolutely off to a great start, but we are cruising right along here. There was something else that I wanted to go ahead and share with everyone, and it was something else that I had read. Particularly, we're in Scorpio season. We're moving into this darker part of the year. We're going into winter. We find a lot of us are, I would say, turning inward or perhaps being a little more reclusive or cozy this time of year. Mahesh says, thank you so much. You are so welcome, my dear. And, keep me posted on this journey. I'm excited for you. So what I had read here is it says, I want people to stop acting like learning your worth is this super freeing and happy movement. Those first few moments of realization are actually the hardest. Now you've got to cut people off, change habits, find a new environment. That purge when learning your worth is not fun. So keeping that in mind, when we are transitioning from or transforming from who we once were to who we are about to be, it can be very much so a beautiful experience of something new, of new mindsets, of finding new people. But you will realize too that there is almost a mourning process that goes along with becoming another version of yourself. So it's great. It is both liberating and a beautiful expansion that you may find within yourself, but also keep in mind that there's another side of the token. And I feel like perhaps the happy side is maybe sold a little bit more than the more challenging side. So I figured I would throw that out here as well. If anyone is experiencing having to say goodbye to certain people or certain things to make way for what it is you're wanting to see next. Guys, we've got almost 2 months of this year left, so let's make something beautiful of it before we head into 2024. That sounds like the future, doesn't it? My goodness. All right. I am ready for my next question here, please. Son of Squirrel. Hello, Son of Squirrel. Son of Squirrel says, hello, wonderful Cassidy, with some beautiful emojis. Will my friend Cookie be able to find a job they can bear in the next 2 or 3 months? Great question. We've got a specific question. We've got context. We've got a timeline. Will they be able to find a job that they can bear in the next 2 to 3 months? Let's take a look. There we are. Okay. All right. And I do feel like a job that they can bear is the real crux of that question. And it's cute because I'm using the Northern Animal Tarot, and the center card here is the bear as the Chariot card, and it has come up in reverse. So what I'm initially seeing for this individual, the 7 of Coins in reverse, is not so much that the options are limited, but where you said it's something that they can bear in a way that's probably best for them. I don't feel that they are looking to just jump on any opportunity that they know would not be a good fit. So it does seem like we will see a bit of movement in this area. I've got the Chariot reverse and Temperance reverse, but I'm not totally, Son of Squirrel says, yeah, they really don't want to work at Amazon or anything like that again. Understandable. That, I mean, it certainly seems with that Chariot reverse like an unwillingness to go back to what didn't work. So I really respect that in many regards. But I have here, I've got the 8 of Wands reversed. So it does look like offers will come in. But there's almost, I would caution this individual against cutting things off before they know more about what the job actually entails, whether they just see the company or the name of the role and write it off. I don't want an opportunity to be missed because it seems initially on paper like it wouldn't be a good fit, but at the same time, not entertaining something that they know would be wrong for them. So to answer your question, do I see them finding something that they can bear in the next 2-3 months? It's not impossible, but at this moment, it seems unlikely to find something that's super long-term. Oh my goodness, as they say, don't put the carriage in front of the horse or something like that. Don't shut something off before it has the chance to be a possibility. So for anyone out there that may fit, that is what I want to say. But thank you very much for your question, and very good luck to you. Son of Squirrel says, thank you, Cassidy, and I'll try and support them better with that info. Yeah, definitely. We can definitely be a support system for people who are on a path of change or finding something new for themselves. And if someone could use a little bit of help or support to make the right decisions for them, well, hey, that's largely what we are here for as well. So guys, I can't believe we have already come to the end of the evening. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure to sling cards for everyone here this evening. And do check out, we've got shows Monday through Thursday every week, as well as daily content that you can find over on our YouTube channel. So make sure you're checking that out. Subscribe on YouTube and so you can stay. Ooh, that was a whole lot of words. Subscribe on our YouTube channel so that you can stay in touch with all of our great content that we have. And your next opportunities for shows, I'll just run through this quickly. We've got Monday night at 6 p.m. with I Am Human with Bunny. So we're starting a whole new round of more in-depth interviews and discussions with the readers that we have on this channel. So check that out. It's going to be amazing. Followed by the beautiful Kay, the Intuitive Empath at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and our amazing Journey Ryan live at midnight on Monday. So those will be your next 3 opportunities to catch live shows. But in the meantime, check out our YouTube channel. So have a great rest of your evening, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody gets what they're looking for: rest, recovery, recharge, a little bit of fun. Take what you need this weekend, and I will be back here next Thursday. This is Cassidy the Cardslinger signing off, and we will see you then. Bye, guys.